Let's dive right in. We're going to talk about how something as simple as buying a sofa actually pulls back the curtain on a massive revolution happening in India's retail world. Seriously, it's a story all about trust, technology, and completely reinventing how we shop.
I mean, you've been there, right? You're scrolling online, you find the perfect sofa, the color's right, the price is amazing, but then you stop. You hesitate. Why? Well, because you can't touch it, you can't sit on it, you can't really know. That tiny moment of doubt, that is the exact problem that's forcing an entire industry to completely change its game. And just to give you an idea of the scale here, get this. A whopping 70% of India's home furnishing market is just local, unorganized players. For the big brands, this is basically the Wild West. It's this huge, untapped territory where the first one to build real trust with customers gets to win, and win big. So what does this Wild West actually look like on the ground? Well, we're talking about a market that is right in the middle of a massive shakeup. That 70% number is just staggering when you see it laid out. It means all the big, established pan-India brands, they're all fighting over just about a quarter of the pie. This is exactly where the opportunity is. It's a fragmented, kind of chaotic space, just waiting for organized players to come in, build that trust, and bring some order to it all. And look, this isn't happening in a vacuum. Our own expectations have totally changed. We've gone from simple cotton mattresses to smart beds. Furniture isn't just functional anymore. It's a style statement. Plus, you've got more people owning homes and global giants like IKEA showing up, raising the bar for everyone. The result? A customer who now demands so much more. And that all brings us to the absolute heart of the issue, the customer. The old way of selling furniture just wasn't working anymore. It was creating some pretty major headaches for shoppers. So you ended up with this classic customer dilemma. On one hand, you have the trust gap. You're just not going to drop a bunch of money on a big, bulky sofa without sitting on it first. And on the other hand, you've got the agony of waiting weeks for delivery in an age where we expect everything tomorrow. This problem was just sitting there begging for a smart solution. And that solution, folks, has a name: Omnichannel. This is the hero of our story. It's the strategy that was practically built to solve those exact customer frustrations. To put it really simply, omnichannel just means the battle of online versus offline is over. It's not a choice anymore. It's about creating one single, smooth, unified experience for you. You can browse on the app, go try it in a store, buy it on the website, and get it delivered, and it all feels like one continuous conversation with the brand. And this whole strategy really stands on three main pillars. First, there's sales, giving you the freedom to buy wherever you want. Second is marketing, making sure the brand's story is the same everywhere you see it. And finally, service, making sure there's great support even after you've made the purchase. This quote from Anthony Sloan really just nails it. The key word here, the most important word, is flexibility. It's all about meeting customers where they are, on their terms, not forcing them down some path you want them to take. That's the whole philosophy right there. Okay, so let's get into the good stuff. How does this actually work in the real world? Let's look at the playbooks of the companies that are absolutely crushing it with this strategy. What's so fascinating is that you see two main paths emerging. On one side, you have the old-school, traditional brands like Duroflex. They built their empires with physical stores, and now they're scrambling to build a great online presence. Then on the other side, you have the new age, digital-first brands like Wakefit and Pepperfry. They started online and are now building physical experience centers. So they started at total opposite ends, but they're all racing toward the exact same spot in the middle. The traditional guys are playing to their strengths. A brand like Duroflex is using its huge network of stores to really dominate key cities. Sleepwell is cashing in on decades of brand trust that they've already built to make their move online feel safe and reliable. The strategy is clear. Use your offline power as a springboard into the digital world. But the digital disruptors? They're using physical stores like a strategic weapon. Pepperfry created its studios for one reason: to solve that trust gap we talked about. The sleep company stores are basically tech demos for their special mattresses. For these guys, a physical store isn't just another place to sell stuff, it's a tool to build trust and pour gasoline on their growth. Wakefit is such a great example of this, so let's just zoom in for a second and see how their model works, because it's pretty much a masterclass in how to do this right. They've built this incredible growth flywheel. Here's how it works.
It starts by expanding out from just mattresses into furniture for the whole home. Then, they use aggressive online marketing to get customers in the door. They control their entire process from design to delivery, which keeps quality high and prices low. All of this builds a really strong brand, which then makes it even easier for them to launch into new categories. You see, each step just powers the next one. It's a brilliant, self-sustaining loop. So, we've looked at the market, the customer's problem, and the playbooks of the winners. What does this all add up to? What's the future of how we're all going to shop for our homes? If you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. The debate is over. It is not online versus offline anymore. It's about blending the two into one single amazing experience. The brands that are going to win in the future, they're the ones who mastered these 4 things. They'll build that one seamless journey for you. They'll use tech to make shopping fun. They'll have supply chains that can change on a dime. And maybe most important of all, they'll tell real, authentic stories that connect with us as people. And that kind of leaves us with one final, pretty provocative question to think about. As this all plays out, are we heading towards a future where the experience of buying something, how easy it is, how much you trust the brand, the service you get, actually becomes more important than the physical thing you end up taking home? Something to chew on.